This is your weekly dose of big boy golf.
Ooh.
All right. I liked it. I like that. Not your worst. Not your worst. We'll take it.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I do this, you guys have this extremely long pause. I know I said this last podcast, but you guys scare the hell out of me. Is that perfect?
We got to suck it in. Takes a second. Let us figure out.
Here's what I'll say. Right. I think every time, I don't think I'm alone in this. Out of the four of us, I think there's three of us that are really wanting one of us to get into it a little bit. Like have some volume or something. Every time you're like, that's what's happening.
Yeah. I'm with George. That's my biggest note.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, friends.
All right, boys. Welcome back. Another week, Big Boy Golf. We are at Pebble, lovely Pebble Beach, for the AT&T Not Pro-Am. We have, as always, Big Rock giving all the important stats and his grid and the breakdown. We got Stormy Georgie with some weather and some insight, and we got Freddie who loves to piss everybody off. How you doing, Freddie?
I'm doing wonderful.
Quick recap from last week, because if you're following along, we gave you another winner, so you're welcome. Brooks with that eagle chip in on was that 17? Beauty.
So good.
Beauty.
What a run on Sunday.
Beauty.
And we gotta clarify some things. So if you do follow the podcast and the grid, just understand that our grid is the official picks. So if you're following, you want to make money because that's where the money is being made, check out the grid. Check out the document with all the layout of the odds and the picks for the week. Don't confuse that with our specific picks, because they're not the same. And I think that's pretty clear. So I think overall for the year,
I do want to point out my picks are on the bottom, and I haven't hit one. So
over.
That's
over.
We love your honesty, bro. We love your honesty.
We're due for a breakout.
Yeah, so we gave you two winners, 2 out of the last 3 weeks. We're warming up a little bit, and as we said in the past, this is the stretch of golf that we were looking forward to. So we're warming up here. We won 47 units last week, and that was coming off 127 something units 2 weeks before that. So it's been good. So like we said, we're at Pebble this week. Little different format. We're not playing Monterey. They're going to play Spyglass 1 of the first 2 days and then 3 rounds at Pebble. Rock will get into the specifics with the breakdown, but shorter track, tighter track, especially at Spyglass, right? So it's going to be little tighter there. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't seen where guys are playing yet at the different courses, who's playing Spyglass day 1, but I'm excited for this. I mean, who doesn't love watching golf at Pebble? So let's get into some breakdown. Rock, I like what you did with your stats this week. I agree with all of it. So tell the people, what are we looking at?
Oh, man, I am pumped. Normally this event is a little frustrating because you have the amateurs spraying it all over the place, and it's like super slow, and they only have Shot Tracker at Pebble, so the other 2 courses you don't know what the hell's going on. You look at the PGA app and you're like, what is happening? Where are my guys doing? Am I going to get a first round leader? Am I going to get a winner here? What's going on? And it's like really hard to follow, but we're not having that thanks to COVID. So it's one positive thing about this world that we live in with the COVID right now. We, like Ron said, we're at Spyglass and Pebble. They're both short tracks. I know Stormy Georgie was texting me today about driving distance he saw in some places that he wanted to look up driving distance. I actually disagree with that, because I believe, there's like cliffs everywhere. Like everybody's going to club down and just hit their fairways, and it's really a second shot tournament. So I'm looking at a lot of different approach numbers, looking at ball striking a little bit, as always. And I'm looking at it around the green, because these greens are small and you're inevitably going to miss the greens. And as we tweeted out earlier this week, you see guys like Jason Day and Spieth and Mickelson who just dominate at this place. And that's because when they do inevitably miss the green, they are wizards around the green, and they're able to get up and down and, not put up a big number getting stuck around the green. So scrambling is definitely in play for me this week. And then, I say it every week because weather is such a big part of golf, as Stormy Georgie will tell us. But, this week especially, because Pebble will play more difficult than Spyglass typically. But if the weather picks up, Pebble's right there on the coast, and it can wreak havoc. If it starts getting windy, it could become a mess. You could shoot 80 here easily, So I think weather is always a key factor. I think depending on when people are teeing off and when the wind is going to be gusting, I think it's huge for a tournament like this. I love Pebble, man. It's so much fun. No DJ this week, so that'll change the odds a little bit. Like we talked about, I'm pumped. I'm excited. Georgie, what's going on with the weather this week?
Yeah. So, oh man, this might get a little ugly, ladies and gentlemen. During the week, Thursday, we have chance of rain, especially in the afternoon. Gets more and more likely as the day goes on, up to like 70% in the evening. But the early guys are just going to be in cloudy conditions for the most part. It's chilly. The highs are in the mid to low 50s. So it's chilly out there. There's not much wind to speak of Thursday or Friday. Thursday's 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday it picks up a little bit, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Again, the highs are near 55. Friday's just partly cloudy. If you've ever been to this area of the world, it's honestly one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Carmel by the Sea is, you can see Pebble Beach. It's right on the beach there. And when you're there and there's some clouds and there's like these just rocks coming out of the ocean, it's like the most beautiful place ever. So if you can go, it is worth going to Pebble Beach. Having said
Good,
that,
because you're taking us there, boy.
That's right. That's right. It's already been said. It's written down in pen. It's happening.
You can't take
Saturday,
that back.
The winds. That's right. Can't take it back. Now it's in the podcast. The winds jump up to 10 to 20 miles per hour. Whenever you get into the 20 mile per hour range, you're talking about probably 30-ish mile per hour gusts. That is significant ball changeage. Wow. And it's going to be probably raining on Saturday. You have pretty much like a 40 to 60% chance of rain depending on the time of day. It's going to be chilly still in the low 50s, even in the 40s when guys are teeing off. Saturday looks pretty miserable.
Can I ask you a question, George? On
do.
Saturday, is that wind going to be like that all day, or will it pick up later in the day? Because, I'd like to make some matchup plays based on that, because if I can get some guys early in the morning to make a run,
Yep, I think your hunch is accurate. The wind's going to pick up later in the day, right around 11, 12 is when it's going to start to go from 10 miles per hour up to the higher teens. And then once you get to 2 p.m., these guys are going to be pretty brutal. And these winds are coming out of the west, so there's nothing blocking them. They're coming off the ocean. So it's going to be tough.
That tells me Friday night leaders maybe fade them or take some guys back in the pack a little bit that are going to start earlier on Saturday, because maybe they can get back into the hunt,
I love when you talk like that. I love when you talk dirty. Sunday, the wind gets even higher, 15 to 25 mile per hour winds out of the northwest. So really nothing blocking them. Again, just partly cloudy, so no rain to speak of. But it looks like the weather is going to get increasingly more difficult wind-wise as this tournament goes on. And Sunday, it's pretty much windy all day from the get-go. It might be a few miles per hour windier in the afternoon, but not a big difference there. So Saturday, moving day, could be really, really interesting and messy. Having said all of that, just to talk to everybody who's listening here, last week I got a little bit cocky. I felt like I had a finger on the pulse of how to do this thing myself and sort of veered from the grid. And guess what happened? I didn't win. So, here I am again. Shocker. Big Rock just said it a little earlier. I was like, driving distance. What about driving distance? And he made a great point that Dustin Johnson is such a beast at that, and him winning probably, or doing so well here always, probably skews that stat to make it more valuable than it actually is. I mean, I would never think of that, So pay attention to the grid is the moral of the story. Stormy Georgie out. Back to you, Chuck.
I mean, the grid's been winning. The grid's been winning for years now. I'm surprised you went rogue. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Who
what
the
are you
hell
doing?
do I think I am? Basically, is what
What
the
are you
hell
doing?
And if I didn't do that,
Yeah.
my God, with the Super Bowl, I would have had a massive Sunday.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
I know Big Rock.
What are you gonna
Big
do?
Rock had a nice little weekend, so well done.
We live and we learn.
Well done for sure. All right, so there's a lot going on in terms of guys that I like. I want to talk about a few things here. First thing that pops out to me is we all want to see Mickelson do well. You know, like he's the old school guy. You know, you want to see him catch a little fire because he is still exciting when he's playing well. You know, he's as good as anybody, like you said before, Rock. When he's around the greens, he does a lot of special things. So, what do you see out of him coming in? He's looked a little sloppy to me, honestly, in the last month or so. But is this a place where we see some old school Phil get rejuvenated and get fired up?
Well, listen, he's great around the greens, like I mentioned earlier. He knows these greens. He's played well here for years. I mean, he just won 2 years ago, and he came in third last year. And in 2018, he came in second. So the guy clearly has a good eye for this course. They're playing at Pebble 3 days now instead of 2. We know he knows Pebble and loves Pebble. Listen, he's Phil Mickelson. I think what's going on with Phil is he plays these other courses, these big boy courses on the PGA Tour, and he's all obsessed with his dropping bombs, narrative. Yeah, he's always hit. I got to hit bombs. Yeah, and to what we were speaking about earlier, you can't hit bombs here. You can't go ham here because you'll hit it right through the fairway and over a cliff. Like, that's not the way you play Pebble. The way you play Pebble is the club down, you hit it in the fairway, and then you stick your approach. It's still going to be a wedge. It's a short course. You stick your wedge shot, and then you know the greens and you putt. There's a lot of undulation in these greens, and I always like guys like Phil here. I like Brandt Snedeker, same thing. He's not a long hitter. He doesn't hit bombs, and he doesn't need to here. There's other courses like next week or back at Torrey Pines where you got to hit bombs to hang. But here you don't need to do that, and I think that helps Phil, because when he starts hitting bombs, he starts hitting them out of play.
So the other guy. Oh, go ahead, George.
So do you think this weather? Sorry, this is Freddie. The weather is going to play a factor. A factor in the way Phil plays, because if it's going to be ugly, it's going to be messy. We all know Phil loves to scramble, and that's his game. So does that play more into gearing him up for this, in terms of everybody's going to be all over the place, the wind's going to be a shit show, it's going to be raining, so does that make his game more approachable?
I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I mean, you look at when he won in 2019. If you remember, I remember because I have a weird golf brain, but if you remember, he was going into a playoff with Paul Casey, and it was dark as hell, and he was trying to get Paul Casey to keep playing. He doesn't care about the conditions. He was literally there. He was like, "Oh, let's try some lights on the fairway, and let's just finish this thing out, so we don't have to come back tomorrow morning. I don't have to pay my pilot to sit on the runway another night." He does not give a crap about the conditions, because he knows that's his edge. It's like his ability to get up and down and deal with the conditions. That's his thing. I mean, that weekend he was also sticking it with the short wedges. I remember the greens were real soft.
Yeah.
He was killing it there. But But I like Phil a lot this week. I think I'm gonna have him on my card. I don't know. I think there's decent value there.
Hey, Rock, so if we're playing off this weather and scrambling thing, obviously everybody is aware of what Jordan Spieth did last week, coming in 150-1. He was last, I think, in the field in terms of hitting fairways, and he looked like he found his game when he had to hit the weird shots and not think. And he looked like when he had to shape the ball, when he had to hit these odd things around trees, and he was actually striking the ball unbelievably from the worst spots, which is why he shot 10 under on Saturday to put him in contention. So do you think, again, the weather obviously is 20-1 now, so everybody is going to be on him, everybody's aware. But do you think the weather plays a part in helping him too, in terms of putting everybody in odd positions where he's going to say he doesn't have to hit the perfect shot. He can maneuver his club and move the club face to work in his favor, like he did when he wasn't hitting fairways anyway.
I think I don't know. I don't really like Jordan this week because I'm worried that he will try to do too much off the tee. There's a difference there with the experience of Phil, and he's been at this for a while. He's got a lot of rounds under his belt at Pebble Beach. He's not gonna make the mistake to spray it over the cliff. Where Jordan, that's what killed him last week. I mean, he gained 7.8 strokes on approach last week, but he lost 3.7 off the tee. Like he gained everywhere else. It was just a mess off the tee, and in the final round that killed him too. He hit it in the water on 15. It's like he's just not there yet off the tee. He's not back to being the Jordan Spieth of old.
But man, dude, that Saturday round, like that was like vintage Jordan Spieth. Just everything going into the cup. It was like I don't know. It seemed like the whole looked like a freaking basketball to him. It was unbelievable. He couldn't miss. It was so cool.
Yeah. The other factor to that point is Phil's 50-1 right now. Spieth's 25-1. So you can get two Phils for the price of Spieth. I'd much rather Phil and Tringali, who's like one of my model, over the Jordan Spieth. So there's a value play to it too. Could Spieth show up and win here and get back on track a little bit? Yeah, I mean he had the magic last week, but I like the value in the Mickelson and being able to get one more person on my card than compared to Spieth,
And Mickelson isn't bad in the wind either.
No, yeah, he's a good wind player.
Spieth's actually historically better in the wind, but I mean maybe that's why. It's because maybe he takes the driver out of the bag when it's windy. That's the only thing. But this is going to be an interesting one because the wind really doesn't, start going crazy until Saturday. So it's all about making the cut. And then, I think Friday night there's going to be a lot of opportunities to lay some wood on, on some people that are maybe 10 strokes back or whatever, but are really good wind players. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
I think
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ron. I was just going to say, I think that's going to impact the way I build my cards this week. I think I might leave some bullets in the holster or whatever that phrase is for to bet on Friday night or even Saturday night. It's like I want some ammo or what's the phrase? I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. I'm not gonna use up all my load or something. No,
that's not right. That's not right.
Took a turn to
took the wrong turn there. Somebody bail him out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No more of that.
He's all out of loads.
You know what? You said it so poorly and so far from what it's supposed to be. I can't even think of what the real thing.
So maybe we move on. I don't know.
Something in the tank? Is it something in the tank?
Yeah,
Bullets in the chamber? Bullets in the chamber?
Oh. Bullets
I mean,
in the magazine.
I think we should move on.
It's not a saying though. I think that's what we're getting to here is that it just isn't a saying. We're trying to make up something, and that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. We want to save money for more bets. We want to save money for more bets. So this is my way of looking at the grid and the stat model is I'm trying to find somebody that has strong proximity, but at the same time also has very good skills around the green. And there's not a lot of guys that have both, to be honest. Very interesting to see. A lot of the guys that are the best around the green are kind of mediocre in proximity and vice versa. So that's one of the things I love about looking at the model breakdown that we use and the different stats is it really gives you an idea of these guys' strengths and weaknesses with the course that they're playing at, which is absolutely awesome. So, when you find things that catch your eye and, for instance, I know we talked about Ryan Moore. I mean, his proximity numbers were ridiculous. So it's hard not to like somebody like that on a tight course. But at the same time, you go away from proximity, and he seems like kind of an average player with some of his other stats. So, George, how do you feel about Ryan Moore?
Well, funny you ask. I wonder, I was just going to say, actually, like one of the best golfers we've ever seen at hitting it out of the shit is Phil Mickelson. One of the, guys we've seen hit it into the shit the most is Phil Mickelson. So that's probably related to just that. Like the guys that aren't as good at proximity are going to be off the green more often and have more practice in high stress situations, having to capitalize off the green.
That's
right.
My own golf game is like that. I love hitting it over by the cart path under a tree, and that I also love hitting it out of that mess. Like that's what you get used to when you do it all the time, all 18 holes.
You're the only person I know who grabs a hybrid in the middle of the woods. Every time.
Yeah, dude.
Trees
That's
everywhere.
what it's for.
You're hitting a hybrid. It makes no sense.
It's uncanny how good you are out of ridiculous lies.
I love it.
Well, that goes back to what you're saying, Freddie, about Spieth. With some of his shots he was pulling off this past week. Talking about our own games, I think most people, when they have a perfect lie, clean lie, you're expecting a lot out of your next shot, you're probably thinking about more things, right? But when you're in the crap, you have a tree in front of you, you're kind of simplifying things, and you're just thinking about contact and trying to, do one or two things instead of trying to make 10 things happen on a perfect shot. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure. I want to go into picks now because I think we're going to have a lot of different opinions here on value, and there's a lot of guys, again, as we say, courses for horses. We have a lot of guys that like this place. Everything got kind of jostled around with DJ bailing out, with the stats moving around and the odds changing a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into some picks here. Again, Flying Ember's not coming through. A little disappointed in them. I didn't get my shipment this week. You got a little black cherry there, don't you?
In the toadfish. In the toadfish.
Oh, yeah.
Some people got to go to work tonight, boys, so enjoy your drinks. Let's go. Who's first? G, Flying Ember's first round flyer?
Oh, God. All right. I'm a little torn here, guys. I'm a little torn. Part of me, so I live in California. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I don't have access to a lot of bets that I wish I had access to. And whenever they're playing on two courses, I never have access to the first round flyer bet. So I can't even look at like odds or whatever. Having said that, I was thinking about going with the favorite, Patrick Cantlay, but God, he's so smug. Pat, again, giving you the opportunity. If you want to come on and prove that you're a sweetheart, we welcome you here. So because of that, I think I'm going to go with a guy who's been hot fire or absolutely freezing cold, depending on the round. He's really it's really easy to root for the guy. I'm just going to go for it. He's 6'1", weighing in at 185 pounds. He's 24 years old, from Shreveport, I don't know how to say it, Louisiana, Sammy Burns.
Wow. Burns has been playing really well. He really has.
He has, and
I
he's
feel
also
like
been
we
playing
always
terribly.
take him. Yeah.
He's
always
always
on card.
somebody's pick. Yeah, I couldn't
I
lay
think
away.
he's on everybody's card.
He's had some crazy low rounds. Like every tournament, he has a crazy low round. It's just whether it's going to be the first round or not.
I actually like him in a longer course, honestly, because he's a bit of a bomber too. So I do like him in a good size course, but he's one of those guys that has some decent proximity numbers too. So
yeah, he's super streaky. So I'm just hoping he gets hot at the right time.
Let me just say one thing about the whole bomber, no bomber. Just because they're a bomber doesn't mean we should be ruling them out at this course. Because think about it. If they want to hit it 250 in the fairway, they might be able to use a 4-iron where like a Jim Furyks still hitting driver, So like there is that advantage to being a long hitter. I'm not saying it's not an advantage. I'm just saying it's marginalized with the where you're going to have to club down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Let's not talk about bombers because then Ron has to think about Tony.
Tony's not in the event.
I know.
This
Just
week.
don't even talk about Bomber. I know it messes with Ron.
Are we not going to mention that Tony came second again in
No,
Saudi Arabia and missed like 11 5-foot putts down the stretch?
Yeah. I will say that we had that debate on the other pod about what's considered a meltdown going into the last round when you have a chance. And I do think that was a bit of a meltdown. I will say that. I think he bogeyed 16 and 17. Yeah.
And he lost by 2.
Meltdown. Yeah.
I do have a question about all these meltdowns and all these players. So we have obviously Xander melted, hit into the water, fell apart. You got Tony melting down left and right, and then you have people like Reed winning, people like Brooks winning. Is there something going on with the guys who are just way too nice? Like Xander seems like an awesome human, seems like unbelievable human actually, and then you have Tony who's loved by everybody, and they just don't have that edge to put it together on Sunday. It's almost like the people who are winning, and DJ's liked, but he also he's an odd dude. He's odd. He's quirky. He's quiet.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a he doesn't give a shit. So like he has an edge. It almost seems like those guys are missing the edge to really. And I don't know if that's it, but it just seems like if you don't have that edge and that nastiness and that side that is kind of unlikable, you can't put it together on Sunday.
Yeah, you're not a killer.
I totally agree.
Look at Tiger all those years. He was a killer on the course, and he won every time. He closed every time.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a really interesting conversation, like getting into the psychology of it. It's like a chicken or an egg thing. It's like, can you be a nice guy, but then also like want to kill everybody when you're on the course? I think you can. I think it's possible to do that, but it always seems to be the case where these it's almost like they're people pleasers. They don't want to get anybody upset, and whatever that mechanism is in their mind also prevents them from having that killer mentality coming down the stretch. It's a really weird thing.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Name somebody. Name somebody who is loved by all, super people pleaser that continues to win. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Dustin Johnson?
I don't know if he's a people pleaser.
No, he's not a people pleaser.
I've never heard anybody say anything nasty about Dustin Johnson.
He's so blah. He doesn't.
I don't think
he's
he knows
boring.
the full alphabet.
Okay, hang on. So if we're talking about, are we saying like dumb as a doorknob? That's out of the conversation?
Yeah. He just doesn't care. I mean, the guy had a major cocaine problem. He was a party animal, and he rehabbed, and now he's just a quiet man.
All right, that's true. That's a really good point.
Dude, this whole topic is a really good point because, I mean, you just look at who won last week. Brooks Koepka is like one of the biggest villains on tour, I feel like, like they were calling him a wolf or some sort of animal on the broadcast.
He loves it.
He loved it. He's holding out everywhere. No, I don't think it was. Or John Rahm. John Rahm's a winner, and everybody can't stand that angry human being.
Oh, he's just such a whiny. He's so whiny.
I mean, maybe Justin Thomas.
I got one though. And I'm surprised I'm surprised you went to George. That's like easy pickings. You went to George for name.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
He knows I'm a real nice guy. That's why he went to me.
It should be on the top of your head. I'm very disappointed after last week's podcast. Webb Simpson. Are you kidding me? Webb Simpson is one of the most lovable guys on tour, and he's got how many wins in the last year and a half? Like, he's crushing it. So, Webb, and you got Berger. And
Adam Scott.
All right.
Adam Scott. Jason Day. Come on.
All right.
Here's something. I wonder, Bubba Watson isn't one of these people, but here where I'm going here. We know that Webby is really religious. So it can really help to have like some sort of like belief in something, right? So I wonder if that plays any of factor into it. Like that is maybe like Patrick Reed.
No idea if Webb is religious though. Is he?
We don't?
I don't know.
I guess I'm.
You go to church with him?
I don't know. I'm confused.
We're
deep in the weeds. Move on.
Yeah, we are in the weeds.
Move on.
All right, who's next?
Oh, God damn it.
I think Freddie's
I just said God damn it again. Shit.
George, for the record, George is not religious. I am very religious. I never use curse words usually. So my first round flyer, Flying Ember's first round flyer, I am that guy that drafts people in like football who have played in like 2007 and they have a big name and they continue to draft them based off of 2007 stats. I feel like that's what I'm doing here, but I'm going to continue down that path because it's proven to be
It's
really
working for you so
successful
far.
having 0 wins. I am going Mr. Jim Furyk. He's not long off the tee. He sticks it. He will not play 4 rounds, but he may show up for the first round, and that's all I have.
I thought you were going to go Larry Fitzgerald, thinking the Pro-Am was still on.
Hey, Freddie.
Hey, Ronald.
Freddie, can I take your action on that? I would like to be your bookie on that bet. Can I take that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would. I'm actually
All right.
going to bet a lot on it. So go
All
ahead.
right, just let me know. Just let me know however you want to bet, and I'll take it. Who's up? Is it me or is it Rock?
I don't know.
It is you.
It's you.
Wait, hold on. Time out. I made a joke and I like made fun of myself, but he stats out well. Like you can't be mad.
He doesn't stat out terrible. He doesn't stat out terrible.
Listen, the first round flyer odds are not out, but I can imagine they're going to be great. They're going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Probably better than you've ever seen. The best odds anybody's ever had in the first round. I'm going to take them.
It'll be somewhere around like 60 to 1. You know, when you divide the 2 courses, you got to remember they'll give a winner for each course. So I bet it'll be
I think if it was going to be windy on day 1, I would like that bet. The reason why I don't is because I think day 1 is the best scoring day, and I don't think you get somebody that's like 65 years old getting the lowest score. But I could be wrong.
You know what, George? I watch the Weather Channel and they're wrong. So people are wrong sometimes. People are wrong.
Just watch your mouth. Watch your mouth about the Weather Channel. Now we're getting personal.
All right. I'm in between a few guys here. I do like Streelman. He's got some good history here. I could see him putting up a low number. There's a couple guys that I like to shoot a low number at some point on the 4 days, but I don't like them to win necessarily. So I'm between Streelman. To me, Mick is more of a grind out 4 days guy here. He's going to make the most out of his opportunities around the green and over 4 days. I think that's where he catches a lot of people. So I don't know if I necessarily love him to come out on fire. So Ryan Moore was that other guy that we talked about that could come out of nowhere. I think I'm going to stick with a guy that I didn't mention out of those 3. I'm going with somebody different. Chris Kirk. I'm going with Chris Kirk.
Wow.
I've liked him. I've liked him to go low. I'm a big fan, man. I like his story. I just see now talking about somebody who has now. Granted, we were talking about finishing on a Sunday. That's the type of guy that probably has that grit. Everything he's been through. He could get to a point in a round where he just gets fired up and he wants to finish, and I like that about him. But I'm going to go Chris Kirk. I mean, I think he's coming into his own a little bit. I was in between him actually with an outright or first round leader, so I'll go first round leader with him because I really like my outright. So
love that.
Chris Kirk. Rock.
Like it. All right. Well, before I give you my pick, I just want to correct something that one of my colleagues here said. He mentioned Jim Furyk and said he was 65 years old. And Sir Jim Furyk is 50 years old. He's not 65 there.
65.
Same difference.
George said 65. It's not the same difference. What does that mean? 65 is old, man. I think
I knew I was exaggerating to make a point. The man probably has a plastic hip.
All right. Well, he's not 65.
We'll see what happens.
3 years.
I'm very excited now.
For my pick, I'm going with the guy who's at the top of the board in some birdie scoring.
Sorry,
He's
Jimmy.
Up there
Sorry, Jimmy. Now I feel guilty. All right.
Yeah.
Jimmy, if you're listening, I know you probably are. I love you. I mean, I always have that crazy hitch in your swing.
Sweetheart.
I still love you either way. Sweetheart.
Back to me. I'm going with a guy who I feel like is always at the top of the board after day 1 lately. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm going Peter Malnati.
I like him.
Malnati.
I'm not going to make a comment. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Stay away. Yeah, we love his hat. Okay.
I love Peter.
I was hoping I don't own one of those hats, or I would have put it on.
God bless him.
No, I like Malnati too. I thought about him when I was looking. He rated well on the model, and he has been. When we talk about the guys that have been hot lately, Burns one of them. Malnati's up there, so I like that.
Boom.
All right, outrights over to Freddie. Who do you like for a winner, Freddie?
I'm going to continue the losing streak. I am going with somebody who has been playing very well. He was, I think he took 22nd last week. The week before he was tied second. He rates out well for this course. He's a Swede, which means he loves the ugly weather. Henrik Norlander. Henrik Norlander.
The Swede.
Great
Back to back.
I'm going back to back.
I love it. I love it.
Stay away.
I like it a lot.
You can't stay away from the Swedes, bro. What is it?
Fun fact. He keeps Swedish fish in his bag.
Wow.
Is that true?
That is a good.
Did you just make that up, or is that true?
I made it
Come
up.
on.
Oh, I love Swedish fish, I will say.
Yeah, that's so gross. All right, I'm going to throw out some stats at you. Don't peek. I know we all have the stat model in front of us, but don't peek. He is ranked 14th in the stat model for this tournament. Shots gained approach, or strokes gained approach, he is second. Ops gained 7th. Proximity 125 to 150, he is 6th. Now, when we scroll down and we look at his proximity rankings, from 150 to 175, he is 7th. From 175 to 200, he is 3rd. In the other proximities, he is in the teens and everything else, except for 75 to 100, he's 48th. But, I mean, with his proximity, everything else, he is very, very solid. He's 2 overall in the proximity model. Anybody take a guess? He is 80 to 1.
Wow.
2 overall proximity. Is it more?
Not more. It is Mr. Kizrevi.
Oh, nice.
He has some solid history here. I think he's cracked the top 10 once. He's been in the 20s a couple times, so obviously he has a little bit of an eye for this course too. I like what I'm seeing in the stat model and what he could do here. He could be a value play too, honestly. At 80 to 1, he's probably decent, top 20 or top 30, but I like him to win it. Come on.
I like that play.
Yeah, I think around the green he's not bad either.
I like that a lot. All right, who's next?
All right, I think it's me. You know what? I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm between a couple guys. I was thinking about Mickelson, who is older than Jim Furyk, for the record. But I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go with Sam Burns. Somebody else took him first round flyer. I'm taking him to win the tournament.
I did. I love it. Wow. All right.
Sammy Burns. Let's go.
Oh man. Okay. There we go. It's my turn. All right. Because I love the weather, I can't get this weather situation out of my head. There's something else that I love almost as much as the weather. It's a large island. I proposed to my wife in this small city named Sydney. I'm going with my mate. He weighs in at 195 pounds. He's 6 foot tall. He's 33 years old from, I don't even know how the hell to say this, Desert, Queensland, Australia. He has a insane history at this course. He plays well in the wind. I hope he's taken tons of cortisone in his back. His name is Jason Day.
There is no way Jason Day is 195 pounds. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Why? You think he's more wrong?
I think that's spot on.
195?
Yeah.
No, I thought he was a lot smaller than that.
Smaller? He's 6 foot, bro.
I thought he was bigger than that. I'm shocked. I thought Jason Day was a lot smaller than that.
I mean, I don't know if they do it like they do in hockey and football, where it's like it's a listed 6 foot, but it's probably more like 5'10". You know, I don't know if
Good
they
for
do it
him
in
for
golf.
having a
Probably
little.
not.
Good for him for having a little meat on his bones. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Ron,
you know,
Ron, you want
the
to take
odds.
his bet?
The odds aren't great. The odds are like, you know, I have him 18-1. I'd love to have a little bit more since he's always hurt, but he's still my pick.
I like it.
I
I mean, he's
Jason
another
Day.
one that's awesome around the green. So how do you not like him?
He
Yeah,
is.
I like it.
He is, yeah.
All right, it's
I'm
value
fading
time.
him this week.
Wow.
You're fading him this week? Shit.
Yeah. Everybody and their mother
Listen
is
to
on
Big
it.
Rock, everybody. Listen to Big Rock.
Listen, I just
Everybody
it's a
has
Big Rock
on him.
it's a Big Rock eye test thing. Everybody's on them, but so it scares me when everybody's on them because sometimes the entire betting industry gets a win. But I don't know. I haven't seen him stick flags in like years. It feels like, and he hasn't won in years. So
I'm leaning on the wind. I just want to make the cut and be at 8 strokes back, and then just excel in the wind.
He's in a similar boat for me as like a Spieth. Like everybody wants him to be there. They're dying for him to be there, and like they want him to win, and like they see glimpses.
Sweetheart.
He can't get there. He's not there. I love Jordan Spieth, and I would love to bet him, but 20-1 on Jordan Spieth this week doesn't make sense. Even he went nuts last week, but it wasn't.
Was Jordan Spieth another one of those guys who was a sweetheart when he was winning?
No,
he was, right?
He was a killer. No,
he was a killer.
Well, hang on a second.
Chest bumping people out of the bunker.
No, I know. We're not talking about whether you get fired up and whether you win and whether you're like. We're trying to talk about if you're a nice guy or if you're a dick, right? Like dicks win more is what we're trying to say here.
On the course, he was
no.
Listen, I would say chest bumping your caddy in front of your competition isn't being a nice guy.
And pointing at him.
Did it.
Remember, he was like,
yeah, he was losing his mind competitive wise, and I think that's kind of what we're talking about.
That's not the way I was thinking about it.
He was the closest
you don't have to be a dick.
To Tiger that I've seen in my life. He was. When he was winning, he was the closest. He had that win, don't get in my way. Yeah, don't get in my way attitude.
But was he talking shit like Tiger was the whole time? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he was. And I think he's yelling at the ball. He's yelling at his caddy. He's yelling at everybody and their mother that walks.
That's true. He does
telling people to shut the front. He was a killer. And honestly, I think he's lost a little bit of that. And I think it's hurt him. To Freddie's point.
Yeah.
George, I don't think it's a dick thing as much as a confidence and like swag thing. DJ's not a dick. He has that confidence, aura, and swag that is like, I don't care who's looking at me. I don't care what's happening. Like coming down the stretch, you almost feel like Xander and the Tonys, like they're such nice guys. They actually know the camera's on them, and they're like, don't do anything wrong. Like walk right, like act right, don't show emotion. And like they're playing a part. I feel bad. I mean, they're like I said, they seem like awesome guys, but they just don't have that killer instinct where they turn it off and say like, down the stretch, let's go.
Yeah. All right. You make great points. I rest my case. No more questions, Your Honor.
You know who's a killer? Jimmy Furyk. Jimmy Furyk is a killer.
I am on the beer pong table. Mm-hmm.
You think he has a hitch in his throw when he plays beer pong?
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
All right, come on, moving on.
Yeah, what are we doing? Value time.
Value. I've fallen off a little bit here, guys. I apologize. I came out on a little bit of a nice start to the 2021 season, and my last few values haven't really panned through. I do love my value pick. I was in between a bunch, honestly. I actually like Duffner here. I like Duffner originally because of the wind proximity guy. He's 225 top 40. I thought about that, but I'm not taking him then. I thought about Ryan Moore because his odds are so long, so his top 30, top 40 wasn't bad either. But I don't usually go high on the board for my value, and I'm going high on the board this week because of the guy's fucking history here. It's so ridiculous. He owns this course. He owns the course. I'm going Phil top 10. Phil top 10. It's 200. It's not insane, but the guy just loves it here. I mean, I almost went top 5.
I have to cut you off, Ron. I was going to go Phil too, and I may still, but I have him top 10 for plus 490.
What? You sure?
Yeah,
What
site? Oh, hang on. Let's check it out.
Let's check it
out.
Top 10 plus 490.
Yeah, I got him plus 450, again. Ron. On DK.
I got plus 400.
Even better.
I mean, you could still take him. I'll take your bet at plus 220.
Oh yeah, I am seeing 450. All right,
450. All right. I like it, Ron.
All right,
listen,
it's my turn.
We talked it out. Let's go.
So here's what happened. Last week. I had Oosthuizen top 10. He was like in third place or whatever going into Sunday. He was crushing it all day. He bogeys 18 to go to 11th place. So what is the lesson here? I got a little greedy. He was plus 500 at top 10, and I took him there instead of going like plus 250 at top 20 and winning that easily. I don't know if I've learned my lesson, but I think I have. And here's what I'm doing. I'm going with a guy who we really haven't heard from in a while, but he has good course history here. He's decent in the wind. I just got this weird feeling that he's going to feel real nice and cozy being at this place, coming back to a course that he likes. He's furry, he feels like that kind of guy that's going to play well in bad weather. He weighs 190 pounds. He's 5'11", 38 years old. He's a Kentucky boy, born and raised, went to college, University of Kentucky. He's middle America, like he eats gasoline for breakfast. His name is J.B. Holmes. I'm taking him top 20 at plus 600, which probably means everybody else has better odds than that. I think it's a great bet. Jump on my back. I'm Georgie Value as of late.
Oh.
Going to Crushtown, USA.
Love it, George. Love
it. What was that last close? Going to Crushtown, USA?
I'd jump on the train, going to I don't know.
Don't worry.
Destination.
I got to alter my bet.
What? No, hold on. No.
Look, I want to show you something.
He can alter it.
Is that a Post-it note?
Do you see that on the bottom?
Top 20.
200, top 20. That's why I was saying 200. Okay. I did have top 20 written. So keep your top 10, fine. Freddie. I'll keep the top 20. And I'll also take your Jim Furyk bet.
Charlie Value knows. If you have the option to go top 20, you might as well go top 20 and have a surer bet. It's the value bet.
Is that what you're doing there, Freddie? What are you doing? You sticking with that there?
I'm gonna stick with the top 10 plus 490. I'm sold. I like old guys this week. That's all I can say. I like old guys.
Loose skin.
I mean, the old guys just
like it.
Old balls, loose skin, gross.
Can we just talk about, first off, George is amazing at the weather. He's amazing at analyzing. He is terrible at finding out if his bets win. He texts us, who's top 10? That's a winner, right? He was not a winner. This is hours after the round ended. It was not a winner.
But I don't even think he bet it.
He made first round leaders
I didn't even
after the
bet
round
it.
ended.
He
stated his own bet.
I left my bet out. I left out my own bet. Doesn't even make sense.
Makes
great
no
faith.
sense.
I don't know how it happens. I don't know what happens. I'm always doing 6 things at once, and if any of us have learned a lesson, it's that multitasking is a lie. It doesn't exist, and I have not learned that lesson yet. I'm working on it. I'm working in progress.
Great. I love it. Keep it up.
Thanks.
All right. Real quick, my value play of the week. I'm going with, which I'm not too far behind you there, Georgie. If I hit one of these, you're in trouble. I'm going with a guy who I did a little stat model today, and he surprised me. He was number 2 in the model behind DJ for me, who's withdrawn from the event. I'm going Cameron Tringali. I'm going top 10, plus 400.
Nice.
Tringali, top 10, plus
Nice.
400. He rates out. He does everything I want him to do at this place. So let's go. Come on.
Sounds like
Terrible
the
win
opposite of my
player.
We need to do the people's pick. Pick.
Oh,
So I have a suggestion or question. For the people's pick, do we make it more of a value bet versus?
I think we should. We gotta pay some people out here.
Yeah.
So how about
this?
this?
Guys.
So how about this? Why don't we are we all in agreement that Mick loves this place? I mean, my value is Mick.
Yeah.
Freddie's value is Mick. Rocky almost took Mick to win. He's on the grid to win. What if
He
we
will
do
be
a
on my
value?
card, yeah.
What if we do a value for Mick? For the people.
Like a top 5 banger?
Top 20.
Here's what I think we should do. I'm going to make a case right now, and you guys let me know what you think. I'm looking at best course history at Pebble Beach. It goes Jason Day, Phil Mickelson, Kevin Streelman. This is the last 5 years. I like Kevin Streelman myself. I think he's a better win player, or he's good in the win anyway. I say we do both of them, and we have Phil be the Twitter guy, and Streelman be the Instagram, Facebook guy.
Rock, are you going to
it.
have are you going to have Streelman on the card?
Yeah.
Are we
on
going?
the card?
Are we thinking top 20 for these to guarantee, or
Why
want
don't
to do a
we?
little
Yeah.
more?
I like top 20.
Maybe we want to make sure we're paying out something too. I mean, Streelman's plus 300, top 10. If we go top 20, it's probably like 150 or something.
My vote would have been DA points top 40, but okay. We can do top 20 on the Phil and the
DA points.
Well, let's do top
So-
10 on the Phil.
Well, here's the issue:
All right.
is like, what are we paying out? Like $20, you know? Like
40 bucks. Like
Yeah,
40,
it's better than
that's
not
the
paying out.
problem. I think we
It's
got to
better
go
than
in
not
between
paying
here
out.
somewhere. No,
Top
I
5.
know, but I think we got to go, like top 5 situations.
All right, we can go top 5. I'm not opposed to
Let's
it.
do it.
We'll
Top
give him
5.
more of a chance. Streelman's plus 700. See, now we're talking.
Phil's
And,
plus
and Mick's
900.
plus 9. Yeah, I like it.
So
Let's
so
do
we'll
it.
do So let's do that. So we'll do top 5
Boom.
for the.
All right,
people.
everybody. So we
Ready.
are at BBG Picks on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go to the social media places, all of them if you have them, whichever ones you have. Follow the instructions to be entered into a chance to win. We are going to give this money away if we ever win anything with the People's Pick. We're giving it to you. That's what we're doing. We're pledged to do it. We'll also give some money to charity. It's what we do. We are a podcast for the people, by the people.
Freddie, I was calling your name because I was trying to get you to do that since you're our social media guy, but George stole your thunder. So, sorry.
I mean, George. I'm not gonna lie. George is pretty smooth with it. I might hire him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna outsource my job to him. That was pretty smooth. Well done, George.
So
Thank
so
you.
like
Thank
we said in the beginning of the pod, like we mentioned,
Least I can do.
check out the grid. The grid is the official picks. You could go by our individual picks if you want, if you like them, but the real picks are the grid. That's where the money is made, my friends.
The Holy Grid.
Pebble, AT&T, Pebble Beach, fired up to watch some golf there, boys. Another good pod. Go Phil. Jim Furyk might break his back with his swing, so good luck to him.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
All right. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Out.